Hello everyone, thank you very much for watching today. My name is Ben. This is the third video in a series designed to help secondary educators utilize technology more effectively in their classrooms. Today we're going to be covering Kahoot! Exclamation point. It is a very exciting website. The previous two episodes in this series were more geared toward, respectively, introductions, warm-up, closing activities, and then also class discussion. So today we're going to be dealing with a little bit more on the side of assessments and like middle of class, like big activities for the students to participate in. And this website really promotes a lot of engagement and motivation and competition, friendly competition amongst students. To get started, you would just go to kahoot.it. So this screen doesn't have too much going on, but what you'll want to do as a teacher is click Create Your Own Kahoot for free at getaKahoot.com. So this is at the bottom of the screen. We're just going to click on that link. And then make learning awesome. I love this slogan. It's awesome. So if you want to know how it works more before watching the rest of this video, you could kind of scroll through their tutorial. But we're going to hit sign up for free at the top right. What is my role? I am the teacher of the classroom. So I will say that I go to the University of Delaware, or I guess you put in whatever institution you're teaching at. It doesn't really matter too much. It's not affecting anything. My username will be Mr. Helton. My email. And let me go ahead and set up password. So if I would type my password and create an account. I have already made a password using and username using this information, so I'm just going to go ahead and sign in, but you don't have to do anything else after you've submitted that form right there. So I'm just going to go ahead and sign in, and this is the screen it will bring you to. This is a nice, beautiful, clean interface. There's not too much going on. At the top you can see if you're new, you can click on this button if you need some more information. Like I said, beyond this video, you could click on My Kahoots, which is basically your games, essentially. Or you can also browse public ones, and there's over 4 million, if I'm reading that correctly, different public Kahoots you can utilize for free in your classroom. But today we're going to create a quiz because I find that those are the most engaging. So I would relate this website more along the lines of a Jeopardy type activity. A lot of teachers will use old school style PowerPoints or weird variants of trying to make a Jeopardy kind of competition review game. But I find that Kahoot is a great alternative to that. So we're going to hit the quiz option. And we're going to go ahead and give this quiz a name. I want to make it a quiz on the first chunk of the Hunger Games, which my class will have read prior to coming into the class period today. So this will be kind of a nice little review activity to see and gauge their understanding of the first chunk or first few chapters of the Hunger Games. So this is really cool. We have an option to either do an image or a video here at the top, so you can use either of those. And the reason Kahoot's nice is because it does prompt you to use these images and videos. Students respond to visual images and visual videos. They really get students involved. Students will want to look at the screen instead of at their phones. So I really, really love this. So we're going to either drag an image from your desktop or choose a file. I have already got Hunger Games images saved. So for our first question, let's go ahead and I have an image of the choosing ceremony is what this is. This is from the Hunger Games movie. So my image is a little bit big, but I'm just going to scroll it so you can kind of see there's a stage where they're picking the names of the contestants. And then the title of our question is going to be put in this box right here. So we'll go ahead and put whose name was drawn to become the female tribute for District 12. Okay, I'm kind of doing a rush job here. I'm not really paying too much care about the question or the answers. But, so maybe Katniss Everdeen, Peeta Mellark, Primrose Everdeen, or a made-up character named Elizabeth Hale. Okay, so we have these 4 characters. Students who did do the reading will understand that Primrose, she was actually the one that was chosen, not Katniss. Katniss volunteered. So the question specifically states who was drawn. So what you would want to do to mark an answer as the correct one we would want to hit correct here. So now it's showing that this answer is correct, Primrose Everdeen, and these other ones are all incorrect answers. Up here, it's very cool. You can make a question worth points or not worth points. Most of them will obviously be worth points. So I'm going to leave that as the default. And then you can set a time limit. I find that either 20 or 30 seconds works. 20 is the default. So we're going to go with that because it kind of gets students to think critically, but it also rewards students who are understanding of the content immediately without trying to ask their peers or something like that. The cool thing about this is that, well, we'll go to that later, but save and continue is what we're going to do at the end. So what we're going to do is add a second question. Here at the bottom, there's a button to hit add question. We'll add one more question to our quiz. Let's do, what is the first ever sponsor gift Katniss receives during the games? I'll choose my image, so I have an image again from the movie of what these sponsor crates looked like. Her opening one. A knife, not the correct answer. Oh, I can't spell knife. Burn ointment, which will be our correct answer. A loaf of bread and cheese, and bandages. Okay. So we're going to select burn ointment again as the correct, and then this time, so we got two questions now, and I'm just going to hit save and continue down at the bottom right. So now it shows a summary page before we move on. It's showing that we have two questions. It's saying what the questions are, how much time students are given, and how many different options there are. I'm able to reorder these questions really easily if I want to switch it up, if I don't like the order that I originally made them in, which is awesome. But I do. So we're going to hit save and continue again down at the bottom right. We can change the language. We can set a description for the quiz. We can allow this to be viewed publicly or privately. So if we want to send it to other teachers or allow other classrooms to use it, you could leave it as public. We can set up an audience, not really necessary information. Basically, this is just summing up your quiz. Mostly useful if you wanted to make it a public quiz available for other teachers to utilize in their classrooms. We're going to go ahead and hit save and continue. And this is an optional. We can give our quiz a cover image. I'm not going to do that today. Or we can alternatively, this is an experimental feature right now, have a YouTube video be displayed in the background as our cover for the Hunger Games. We're not going to do that because I want to show you guys what it looks like. So we're just going to hit done. And we can play it. That was very, very simple. We just added some images and questions. It's not too difficult. The interface is really simple, very colorful, and it's encouraging. So we'll just go ahead and hit play now. This is what the teacher interface will look like for students. So we have a launch if we just want to go ahead and begin right away. We can randomize the order of questions. We can show any introductory information that we added in that step. So the main thing you're going to want to worry about here is this display game pin throughout. So the game pin will be what students use to connect to the quiz. I'm just going to go ahead and tick yes in case there's any students that are coming into class late, so that way they don't have to disrupt the class atmosphere by asking the rest of their classmates what the quiz pin is. I'm just going to go ahead and hit launch now. Ready to join. Here we go. Okay, as you can hear, it is now playing some nice little relaxing music in the background. It's given us a game pin. So all students have to do is go to this original Kahoot.it website. And once they're on Kahoot.it, they'll be entered the game pin. So our game pin for today is 67586. We'll copy this, and students will be able to enter this and select a nickname. So, as I mentioned previously, students can work as an individual, or you could have students work collaboratively in groups as a team-based exercise. So we're going to go with the group setting for this one. Team dominance or something. I don't know. Team excellence. We'll go with team excellence for our team name. Okay, go. Boom. So we're going to go ahead and switch this up into our teacher versus student perspective. So on the right side of my screen here, I have what the teacher is viewing. This is what would be on the presented screen at the front of the classroom. And then this is what a student would see on the left here. They see "you're in." Do you see your nickname on the screen? And yes, they can see their nickname. I'm going to go ahead and start this game as the teacher. So I would just go ahead and hit start. Are you ready? As you can see now, the student window is saying question 1, 4 seconds, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so what we're seeing right now is, remember, the right side of our screen is what is being presented. So we see the question, whose name was drawn to become the female district tribute for District 12? We have our image, how much time is left, and 4 answers that are color-coded. It's beautiful, beautiful. So I'm going to go ahead and select Primrose Everdeen. Oh, but look, I didn't answer in time on the student window here, so it came up with a time up. The correct answer was Primrose Everdeen. I'm now in first place because there's only one of us. So I did not answer in time on the student window here. So let's go to the next question and see if we can actually answer quickly this time. You can see a scoreboard after every question showing the total point value. We'll go over that in a sec. But we're going to go to question number 2. This time, let's see if we can go ahead and just answer to show you guys what it looks like when we do guess correctly. What is the first ever sponsor gift Katniss receives during the Hunger Games? A Nifwa? No. It's burn ointment, so as a student, I would select this blue diamond. All the students are seeing are these 4 colorful images. Correct. It turns green, a very rewarding color, and it gives me 680 points. The points are based off how quickly students are able to answer the questions. So students who answer more quickly and get the material as quick as possible will get the most points, which provides a nice little friendly competition. So now on our teacher board side of things here, we can see that one student in the classroom guessed blue. If, for instance, you had 10 students that answered the blue diamond, but 1 student or 2 students that answered the green square, you could kind of gauge the class's understanding by asking follow-up questions before moving on to the third question. I could say, hey, so which students selected the green square? Are there any volunteers to kind of explain why you thought that was the correct answer? And obviously students may not raise their hand, or you can utilize your actual results later on to kind of follow up with them. So this is just a neat kind of infographic here you can utilize to really present some nice follow-up questions to your students. We're going to go ahead and hit the next button to see the scoreboard, because it's after this every question you'll see the scoreboard. And we see Team Excellence now has 680 points on their score. So all the teams, if there was more than one, or all the students will be listed here along with their scores based on how quickly they answered. Again, I just want to highlight down at the bottom, we hit that button option when we started the game. It said game pin will always be visible. This is, again, the game pin that students would use to connect to the game. And we're going to go ahead and hit end because the quiz is over. So now we see the top score is Team Excellence, 680 points. This is what would be displayed on the board. And then the students get to see this nice, colorful, first place, epic win, congratulatory message. As a teacher, the last and awesome thing about this website is you can go to feedback and results when you're done, and you can kind of see what students felt about the activity. So students are then able to, on their phones or their laptops, whichever device you're using, you can use both. They both work perfectly fine, phones or laptops. I could rate how hard I thought this quiz was or how well I liked it. So I'm going to give it a 5 stars. Did I learn anything? Probably not, because I was doing a review kind of activity. Would I recommend it? Sure. Continue to tell us how I feel, happy, sad, and each teacher can kind of prompt their students with whatever answer. And then on the teacher end, you will see their feedback and their responses to this quiz, which is awesome. Overall, I would really, really recommend Kahoot over trying to do something traditional like PowerPoint Jeopardy or other kind of class engagement activities when you're questioning student understanding. Hopefully you have enjoyed this tutorial on utilizing new teacher technology tips in the classroom.